So we've got to be drilling this. We've got to be drilling this corn. I think I've started somewhere, haven't I? Yep, this chap is getting stuck in. That's been fun and interesting texture that it leaves behind, isn't it? I'm just going to leap out and have a little look, see what's going on. So it's corn, it needs rolling, and of course there's poor nitrogen, as we knew there would be, because I didn't put the fertilizer attachment on the wagon. I think probably pigs and things are okay. How is the spreading of slurry going? Well, it looks like it's going satisfactorily. There's just obviously little problems with turning around at the ends of the rows. What I might do, and it's still taking its slurry from the underground storage pit, which is absolutely brilliant that it does that. So it is full, but also shall I do the whole length of the field? Or do I mean width of the field? I mean width of the field. Does it get to the edge? Oh, just about. I should be able to go all the way down to the end. I wonder whether I could be using the electric tractor to pull this tanker. I wouldn't be at all surprised. What's the vibe? What's the vibe on the slurry tank? 80 horsepower. And the little tractor's about 60 horsepower. I bet that would be fine. That would be a good. That would be a good thing, wouldn't it? Because then this tractor could be freed up to do some sowing. There we go. Let's bomb down to the other end. Right. That's enough of going in that direction, I think. Let's... I do like the sort of deep bass, throaty roar that this vehicle has. It's not bad at all. And we'll just have a quick check on the animals, but I'm sure they're all fine. Yeah, fine, fine, fine. Fine, fine, fine. Might have to deal with them in due course, but not just at the moment. I think this little tractor ought to go and try and pull that slurry tanker. It may not manage it, but if it were to manage it, what deep, deep joy we would all experience. That was typical, of course. He's already started heading up in the other direction. It's a bit annoying. What I'll do is I'll park myself here, and then I'll get an alert. Worker is blocked by an object, and that will tell me. Now then, we're all over the place here. Let's tidy this little last piece up. I'm driving all over the beautifully planted crop, which is, I mean, I won't go as far as saying it's unforgivable, but it's hard to forgive. But sometimes things that are hard, they're worth doing. So I'm going to try and forgive myself. Got a little clonk noise there from something. Don't know what that was about. Made me lose my line. You made me miss. Do do do. Wah wah wah. I'm sure this piece of sophisticated kit will only plant where it needs to plant and not be replanting in other places. Looks like the texture's all remaining the same. So that's good. Now then, let's whip down the side here, start doing lengths. I'm hoping I will get everything planted today. Planted today is probably more important than fertilised or anything else today, but planted today would be good, because then it will start growing, and hopefully, it's January now, February, March, April, May, June, 5 months' time, it will be ready to harvest. The price will be at its maximum. All good things. Now then, let's get out of there. Let's first of all detach myself from that. Let's see how this goes. It does look like a mismatch, but I believe in my little electric tractor. Which is about, whatever it is, 58 horsepower or something. Come on, baby. It'd be so convenient if you could do this. Seems alright so far. Look at that. I better get out of the way. Oof. Or little electric tractor's going to be grumpy with me. Right, so I also bought a planter, but the big plan, oh look at that, was to mulch this with weeds and see if that is permanent weed treatment. That is Planus bigus. Let's hook up to the mulcher, because if mulching takes care of weeds, that will save us having to spray. Obviously there's going to be no weeds on the field that I ploughed. There's no weeds on the small, so far, on the small field. Sorry, I keep getting little messages. All fine. I was waiting for a tree surgeon again today, who did not turn up. I'm beginning to think there's been a miscommunication. But I've had a very productive morning, because I've been up since 6:30. So, you know, that's the positive. Got a lot done. Fairly mundane stuff, but still. A lot of mundane stuff done is better than no mundane stuff done. That's going to be my assertion. That's not a very well lined up run, is it? But I think I can leave that to go because there's masses of turning room at the end. Oh, apart from this first one where there's a tree. Maybe I'll stay with. Am I doing what I want to be doing? Yeah, I guess so. I was just a little confused then for a moment. Couldn't work out what was going on. I think I ought to just put one strip, even though it seems to be managing absolutely perfectly. I'll put one little strip of planting here, just to give the worker half a chance. There we go. Now, this has stopped for what reason? Oh, interesting. It looks like we've run out of. Looks like we've run out of slurry in the underground storage unit. Let me go down here till I get to slurry. No, I haven't. I've still got masses of it. So what is the reason for stopping? It has started using slurry from the tank. If I do it myself, that's all fine. If I hit worker, carry on, it seems all happy. Some little gremlin had a... Oh, it's conked out again. Oh, this thing doesn't have Isaria Pro, does it? Does that matter? I don't even know if we can fit Isaria Pro on it. I have got the money to do it if it's possible, and I do appreciate that I could have just bought a decent tractor, but trying to get by. Get another electric one. Ooh. Now do a little repair. Let's customise it. Let's pop Isaria Pro on it. £14,950. It detects the real nitrogen demand of your crops. While driving with the sensor over your field, you'll get more precise information. Maybe that's where I have erred. Or maybe nothing to do with it. Just blown £14,000 for no good reason. Turn the crop sensor on, it's going to sense sunflowers. It's actually not going to be sunflowers on here, but anyway. Tank is empty. Tank is not empty. But it is using up stuff from the tank. I wonder why this little fella can't talk to the storage tank in the same way that the Fent can. I wonder why. It doesn't seem to be adding much nitrogen, does it, if you look at the little map? But it is inevitably going to reduce the amount of artificial fertiliser we need. It must do. And of course it doesn't know what crop it's fertilising for. Shall I do a tidy up of this bit whilst I'm down here? Very respectable 10 miles an hour. I think that's not a problem at all. I'm going to run out about here, and I'm right next to the tank where I want to refill. And I have it set to automatically fill from underground storage with liquids, which the previous machine was doing very happily. But for some reason this little tractor is not responding to. Is one of the mysteries of the game. Let's see if anything is different now that we're full. No, tank is empty, it says, which I have to tell you is not in fact the case. But anyway, we've nearly finished this field, so we'll probably be alright. It doesn't think it needs very much slurry in this corner. It actually, although the animation doesn't stop, it stopped dispensing it where it isn't needed, thereby conserving. See, as I go across here, the numbers stop changing, even though the animation is still going. The slurry level in the tank isn't going down, only where it's needed. The question is whether I will have enough to get to the top of the field. I suspect there's no point setting off without just topping the tank up. So I will just quickly whiz into the farm, top the tank up, and then do the last bit of this field. Whilst the tank is topping up, I will flick over to the other two tractors and see how they're getting on. Oh, I think that one might have finished. It's pretty amazing. That one is, yeah, it's still going side to side because it should be going up and down, really, shouldn't it? That was the intention. But now we've got this far, I think we'll leave it. And this is claiming to have done the whole field, which is pretty cool. Let's put the mulcher away and go and pick up. Ah, look, it's left a little corner. Never mind. Never mind. I have a little weedy corner. In theory, I see no weeds. It doesn't say weeds are growing. I won't go up there, it's a bit steep. Go down to the end. Put this away, and then nip over and pick up the drill. Load the drill up with seed and with fertilizer, and then direct drill into that mulched ground. That's the plan. Got to remember to set the right crop, which I'm not very good at remembering to set. Not going anywhere. I can't really see. Probably because I've got sunglasses on, but I'll put some lights on and see whether... Oh yes, there we go. There we go, that's a little bit better. Ping. Boop, 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 boop. Right, let's snip over to the... I wonder whether it'll do it automatically if I just say go there. Might do. Sorry, just checking emails. Set destination. Destination is here. And let's just do that. Meanwhile, let's see if I can do this whole strip in one go. Animation has started, but no slurry is being consumed until you hit the unslurried bit. I do like that. Just makes life a little bit easier. And I'll do these bits that have been missed. I think I would have made it up to the top end of the field, perhaps just about, with the amount of slurry that I had in the tank. But I might struggle to do the extra little bits and pieces. No, maybe not. I don't need to turn it off because it's not actually consuming any slurry. Presumably it'll only consume a tiny amount when I go along here. Oh. I mean, this is really nitpicky, isn't it? Worker G is blocked by an object. It might be that it's blocked by that, which is perfect. Well, that's exactly what it's come for. Incredibly ugly cedar. I mean, planter. Decked out in Fent livery. I think by the time it's covered in mud and stuff, it'll look good. Just looks ugly at the moment because it's clean. Ugh. What I want is just to set the destination for kind of here somewhere in this field. Let's see if it'll do that. Now then, shall I enslurify other fields? I'm going to only chemically fertilise that one. That will all be done in one pass. But I could chuck some slurry on that little field over there. whilst I'm on a bit of a roll. What I might do is turn automatic topping up off and just let it run from the tank. Let's put a strip along the bottom. Too far out. Don't know why it was having a freak out. Let's open up. Oh, let's not open up. Let's go and put some. Let's put some seeds and some fertilizer in it. Ooh. Extend crane arm. Raise crane arm. What does that mean? Is anything moving? That's quite a joyous little animation. Let's pop some seeds in. And will it fill up from that side when those doors open? No. Oh, yes it will. Ping. Which obviously is slightly ridiculous, but never mind. Never let things be ridiculous be a problem. AI worker G has stopped work unexpectedly. Tank is empty. Gee, what a surprise. But we are close to home, so it's not a problem. There was a little happy pinging noise there, but I don't know what that means. Is it on my phone? Oh, it might be. Might be. It's adding quite a lot of fertilizer. It's loamy sand, so it's not very good soil. It's putting a high seed density in, 12 seeds per metre squared, and it's whacking a load of fertilizer in there. Not that you can see that decreasing on the display particularly, but you can see from the animation on the left that that's what's going on. This field's a mixture of loamy sand, which is basically sand with some loam in it, so not very good. Sand is inorganic, doesn't hold on to water very well, doesn't provide much in the way of nutrition. And sandy loam, which is basically loam but with a lot of sand in it to improve drainage, but not add any organic component. By organic, I mean from living materials rather than the sort of marketing term. Over in France, it's bio, B-I-O, biologique. All the supermarkets have big biologique sections. Very nice looking produce. But I might argue not significantly better for you than the non-biological stuff. And although it ought to be better for the environment, it's possible that organic farming is worse in terms of things like climate change, because yields are lower, which means that you're doing more miles, you're doing more diesel, consuming more diesel per ton of food than you might otherwise. It's a discussion point, if not a solid fact. There we go. Adding some nitrogen to this field. Now then, are we claiming that we are done here? Is that what you are? Is that what you are arguing? That field is all beautifully sown with corn? It does look it. Now it just needs rolling. I'm going to whiz over to 32. Well, whiz. I'm going to propel myself towards field 32. Pick up a little bit of seed on the way, I think. And then I'm going to sow field 32, which is full of weeds, so it'll temporarily squish the weeds, but they will come back, I suspect. A little bit tight through there. Go. All full up. And we've run out of slurry already. But that's okay. Give myself permission to run out of slurry. Just gonna nitrogen, it doesn't have an opinion as to whether that's good nitrogen or not, because it depends on the crop that goes in, and then it will have an opinion about whether it's good nitrogen. It certainly won't be perfect nitrogen, but it should be, well, it's a contribution towards, isn't it? Just reducing costs. Direct drilling it in. Nitrogen, in fact, is bad. And weeds are growing. And it needs rolling. So it's all a bit of a mess. But all the mess that we can fix. So whether that addition of slurry was useful or not, it's hard to say. Hard to say it is. But I do like that texture, that alternative sown texture, because it's direct. That's the direct drill texture. Just means that when you come to roll it, it changes. Oh, it might get this straight from the piggery because it's not far away. When you come to roll it, the change in texture is really obvious. Otherwise, if you roll cultivated land, textures are the same. And it's not quite so easy to see where you've been. What? What? Don't give me that. Oh, there's no slurry here. Oh, that's strange. I thought I obviously was quite efficient and moved it all. I didn't think I had. Well, what a moo. All these talks of efficiency. And I'm wasting miles. And I do need to stop the this from going up and down more than twice. Twice is enough. I could get on here with a weeder. Don't have a weeder, but I could get a weeder. Or we could spray it. Weeders a more environmentally satisfactory solution, but it would have to happen today. If I left it until next month, then it would need hoeing. Ho! Rather than weeding. That's all looking good. Just out of interest. Haha. Now that I've planted, we've now got weeds growing. So that's the answer about the mulchy business. Now that it's planted, nitrogen is bad, but better. I mean, worse than the other one. The other one's 75 and it needs 120. This one's 10 and it needs 120. So this is better bad over here. There we go, 45 and needs 120, as opposed to 10 and needs 120. So that's that's the thing. That's something. I think I will struggle to run a weeder over everything. Whoops. What I mean is that. That's what I mean. But I could hire a big sprayer and do the whole lot next month. I could do the whole lot, and I could put some fertilizer on the field that needs fertilizer as well. Most important thing is to get the crop in the ground. Oh, it's so important. It's so important, Alain. So important. Let's go and top up. Toppington's up scheme. Lovely animation. Said it before, and I'll say it again. Now then, what are the options? We've got this field being sown. This one's not sown, but I also haven't finished with the slurry spreading on this one. So I need to do that. So what I'll do is I'll go and I was going to say I was going to help help sowing the other field, but I'm not sure that that's what I want to do at all. I think what I might do is go and grab a weeder and rip up some weeds. I might buy the weeder. I don't think it's hugely expensive. Weeder. I'll get this big. How big is that? 6 meters full. No, get this one which is 15 meters. It's quite beastie. £45,000. I think we may as well buy it because I think we'll get some use out of it. I don't quite know why I decided to start there, but anyway, fair enough. This is all happy times, but we want to be going upsy downsy, not sidey sideys. There we go. That's the most efficient. I did think about coming and helping to sow this field as well, but I've got fertiliser, and so then half the field will be fertilised and half wouldn't, and that might confuse the issue later on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unhooch myself, and I'm going to rip up to the shop, grab the weeder, and weed this field here. Which, because it's 15.2 meters, it will do it very, very quickly. Probably even more quickly than it mulched it. And it mulched it very, very quickly. Get out of the way! Bit of a clash of colours. It's almost worth buying a New Holland tractor just for doing the weeding, so that the blues and the yellows don't clash. Well, it'll probably look quite nice on the back of the JCB. Anyway, let's not get obsessed with aesthetics. I'm going to start in this top corner here by the tree, which is the only awkward bit as far as turning is concerned, and then I reckon it'd be interesting whether this actually works at all. It might not. It says weeds growing weeder. Well, it says use a weeder, so if that's what it says, it ought to be absolutely fine, because there's no change. So you have to, I always let a worker do this because I just don't know what's going on. Let's get out, run around. Nitrogen is bad, but no weeds. This is looking very nice. Hasn't quite got the room to turn around that it needs, which is irritating, so it has to back up. It is quite a big piece of kit. And here, of course, inevitably we have stopped, but we're not far off. And this little electric tractor is having a lovely workout. Super workout. Strange that the slurry that come out of there is kind of colourless, but the water that comes out of the other one is a sort of brown liquid. Yes, that is strange. I'm going to be able to drive through here without hitting anything. Oh, I made it. Will this be my last refill? It'd be nice to think that it was, but it just gets used up very quickly, doesn't it? I don't think installing Isario Pro has made any difference. It's not actually applying slurry there, is it? No. A few little bits in the corner to tidy up. It's 1 o'clock. I've just got to make sure these fields all get planted. So here it's knocking it up to 80 kilograms, except it isn't. It isn't actually applying any at all. It will do here, and it will do here. And it will do with these last two little bits. And I shall call it a day. Oh, little cheeky piece here that needs doing. And I'm just going to tip the rest out and then put this tank away. I suppose the question now, the all-important question now is whether I can pull the weeder with the electric. Oh no, 150 horsepower. No, I'm not going to be doing the weeding with the electric. I mean, I could try. It's amazing what you can get away with. We might just do the eggs whilst I'm thinking about it. Presuming everybody else is busy. Almost done. Won't have done up that side there, will it? So let's send him up there. Did we establish that the eggs are too heavy? Ooh, too heavy for me to lift? I think we probably did establish that. Don't know how close I have to get and whether I can fill it with the doors shut. Refill trailer. Ping, ping, ping. Fill it with the doors shut. That's cheeky, isn't it? Refill trailer. Cool, you can do it from quite a distance. Oh, lovely big reel tractor has just driven past outside. With, I would say, a sprayer on the back. Pretty exciting. £4,500, not to be sniffed at. That's how much the planter is costing to lease. That weeder has stopped. And we've got a fertilizer spreader. God, I wonder whether this. I mean, it wouldn't do it. It will. Its little front legs will come off the ground when I put stuff in there. But I could put a weight on the front, couldn't I? Do I have a weight? No. I need to get a weight. Probably get a ton or near a ton. And then we'll see how whether we can spread fertilizer with that little fella. Oh, exciting. Come on. What's going on here? See, there's weeds growing there. I don't know what you're mucking around at. This job needs doing. Let's get those weeds. Then I've got to whiz. Whiz to the big field and weed that as well. Let's do a strip. It should, I think this strip is 18. So this, or perhaps it's 20. So this should be absolutely fine. Going down here. As long as it doesn't bump into that tractor. Should have turned around before it gets there. No, maybe not. It'll be interesting. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to faff to that degree. That's not what I meant to do. What I was thinking about doing was going and buying a weight. Let's buy a 10 winkle 750. Main colour, onyx black. Very happy with that. Let's buy that. Or is there an advantage to buying one that's variable? Because then maybe you could take it to the workshop and vary it. I'm going to buy the 10 Winkle 750. That's what I'm going to do. Right, obviously we don't want to do that. What we want to do is go up the side here. I hadn't got distracted. Got here just in time. There we go. I want to get to the top. Let's pop that down for the moment, and let's whiz. I want to go to... Where are we? I want to go to here. When that other tractor gets to the top there, I'm going to do a width. And it should be able just to crack on and do the whole field in due course. If I can get away without doing any spraying. I can use my little fertilizer spreader for touching up the fertilizer where it's needed, which, like here, for instance. Are we going to have a meeting of machines again? I think we are. Extend crane arm. Don't know. Don't know. It's quite heavy. Another hour has passed. It's 2 o'clock. Got to get everything sown. Sown and weeded. Well, and rolled, actually. Oh, well, sorry. Can't be doing two things at once. Little moment there. Had a little moment. Having this weight on the front is affecting It's sort of affecting. So it does seem to have a little fertiliser in it, so I must have done some fertiliser spreading. I thought I only spread lime with this thing. Anyway. Ah. That is, I have to say, a thing that I thought might happen. But I hoped I'd have enough weight on the front so that it wouldn't be a problem. So what I probably need to do is to go and get a bigger weight. Maybe something nearer sort of 1700. Keep this one. We'll have them both. Now, this is what, of course, I didn't really want to be happening, isn't it? Because what I really wanted was to be going up and down. I got distracted again. I think that's okay. It's just a weedy, it's going to be a weedy patch. It's going to be a weedy patch. I'm going to have to, when I get down the other end, I am going to have to deal with it. Deal with it. Deal with it. Boo boo boo. Have to turn left. Let's see what we can do about this little mess up. So it's not really showing the presence of weeds, but we know they're there. Let me just get out and check that there aren't any. There are weeds growing. Needs rolling, needs rolling. There are some weeds. Good. Let's buy a Biggie McBigness. Let's buy this fella, 1500. Woof. And I'm going to put him on the back, presuming but he's that way around. So just for the moment, fast, it's a bit harder to stop with all this extra weight. We'll drop that one off there. We'll put this one in the shed near the minerals. We'll see what we can do. Oh, am I approaching this thing from the wrong end, am I? That would explain a lot. How are we doing? We just about holding it together? We're just about holding it together. It's not the easiest thing ever. Should get better as the job goes on, shouldn't it? If I start over in that far corner, woo! If I start over in that far corner where the one obstacle is, we've still got it set to partial width. Let's do the full 42 meters. God, this isn't going to take very long, is it? Oop. Don't give me no field found. That's interesting. It's not... Right. Right, we're going to have to solve that in a moment. Gone to quite a lot of trouble to get that set up. It'd be a bit annoying if it... Or is it that the soil is perfect on here? Oh, nitrogen's bad, it says. I don't quite know why the nitrogen's bad. Surely we put nitrogen on when we planted it. Corn is growing, it needs rolling, pH value is good, nitrogen is bad, but it's not. What about if I just go for it? So nitrogen is perfect here. So, but it is putting it on. I'm being stupid. For this last field, I'm going to switch planters. In fact, we can take this planter back. Because it has done its job. It has done its job. The only field left to do is 31, and we can do that with the little planter. I am as content with that as one could hope to be, I think. think we might buy one of those in due course. But I'm going to use this because this does both. Although, presumably I'd done both in the previous field, but it didn't seem to be enough. Turn on crop sensor. It all looks very neat out here. Don't like those stones. As soon as I start sowing, I'm expecting it to start saying that weeds are growing. Which is a low blow. I got all excited. It's still saying that nitrogen is bad, even though it's meant to be applying nitrogen. Well, yeah, nitrogen's perfect there because it's soybeans. Ah, somehow automatic activation rate had not been set. Now if we go and have a look, nitrogen is perfect. I don't know how that happened, but is that also the problem here? No. I think my tendency to prod buttons somewhat randomly in a panic means that I had turned off the automatic application rate thingy. So it needs rolling. That's all. And nitrogen is perfect. Fair enough. Now this field here, this must need my gentle touch as well. Will it allow... Oh, there we go. And it's even changing the texture. It's going to miss a bit up the top there. That's not too bad, is it? Eh? Things are going better here. Bit of weeding going on here. Oh, it's a slow process, isn't it? There's only one small field to do after this. So we should get it done today. Off on a little jaunt. Rocking and rolling around the neighbours' fields, eh? Has he planted grass? Does look like he's planted grass, but it might be wheat or barley in the early stages of its growth, mightn't it? You wouldn't plant grass. That'd be crazy. It's chewing through the fertiliser using plenty, eh? The reason it wouldn't work on that other field is that it did have artificial fertiliser added. It just wasn't added at the right rate, but the machine was detecting the presence of fertiliser. So it wasn't an unfertilised field. So therefore the worker couldn't spread the fertiliser. If I'd had the correct settings on the planter, then it would have put the fertiliser on at the correct rate. And then that problem would not have arisen. Well, I think we're in a good place. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save progress, and I'm going to come back to this later on this afternoon when I have finished all the various jobs that I have to do. So I'll see you then. Bye-bye.